With that, Patty Peterson.
Thank you. And now we're doing our official, I love this. I step into the center and it's the official mic check, and it works. Hey, good morning. What we decided, since I don't know a lot of you if you know this or not, but we lost our beautiful mama this summer, 5 months ago yesterday. And so for us to actually muster up the courage to do a Christmas show wasn't going to happen. So we were talking about, we were offered a night, that December 21st, and so my husband and I were talking with some of the management down there, and it'll just be a Patty jam, one woman said, and Stuart went, wait, I like it. That's my husband. And he goes, the jam before Christmas, and I said, put the word "twas" in front of it. So you'll see family, you'll see friends who have worked with me through the years on that night. So that's going to be a lot of fun, and a real easy way for us to have some fun during what could potentially be a difficult time. And we will give that gift to each other of being there, present within the music that Mother handed down to us as we celebrate this beautiful holiday with people who come to hear us. And so I'm excited. That just happened in the last couple of days. Well, today, when Gary invited me to come and speak on this day, he said that the month's theme was giving freely. Well, of course, it could be something regarding Thanksgiving, giving freely. What does that mean? I mean, I say this to most people who come here, is that you're a seeker or you wouldn't be sitting in this chair. If you've come more than once, you like seeking and you like the tidbits of information that you're getting right here. And so it actually becomes just a little bit of a challenge to think about what you might not have heard before. But I figured, if nothing else, a nice review during this beautiful kickoff to the holiday time frame would be just to talk about all of the different aspects of what giving freely means, and maybe some of the difficulty in giving freely and what that can present for people emotionally, but what it does do for you spiritually to get in the mindset of giving freely. I took it upon myself to talk to some really good girlfriends who I've mentioned before in some of my talks. And I said, I'm a little confused about how I can go about giving freely, because we can just, all of us cite examples that live in our head, not necessarily in our experience, about what it would be like to give freely, right? And they said, oh no, let's talk about this for a minute. And one of them was talking about the fact that her husband was really good to write a check. Give freely, pay for this or that, or make a contribution, but not show up in personal lives for that depth of giving freely that happens with interpersonal connections. He was under the impression that by writing the check, that was his job. And it came and hit him in the fanny as years went on, because he missed out so much of what some of the family celebrations were about. His job took him on the road quite a bit. And she said that it isn't all about writing a check when you hear the phrase giving freely. And I don't know about you, but boy, oh boy, those pieces of mail that come in with, oh, please support this organization and this organization. And since I've been getting my mother's mail, oh my goodness, I now know how many $10 checks she wrote to places. Holy buckets. It isn't about just writing that check. Yes, it's the energy of money, and these people are doing wonderful things, but it's more than that. It's about showing up in life too. And so giving freely brought up a couple of things for me, and expressing love, giving freely with no attachment. That's a really interesting aspect of giving freely. And I wanted to get right into the talk, but well, I don't know how to structure this, Linda, because I'm on a roll. I was going to do that tune first, and maybe I should. Let's do the tune first. Want some music first? And then we'll get into it, because this is more of just a fun song, and it's about that love piece, about giving freely, and when you give freely, what can happen to you. And I have to sight read it, so forgive me. Don't forgive me. I'm just showing my age. What can I say? Some of you will remember this tune. As a matter of fact, I had never sung it before a couple of weeks, and I thought, how perfect to bring this along to some of the services that I sing at or speak at, okay? Here we go. Sunny, yesterday my life was filled with rain. Sunny, you smiled and really, really eased the pain. Oh, dark days are done and the bright days are here. My sunny one shines so sincere. Sunday one so true. I love you. Sunny, thank you for the sunshine bouquet. Oh, and Sunny, thank you for the love you really brought my way. Well, you gave to me your all and all, and now I'm feeling 10 feet tall. Sunny one so true, I love you. Play some, Linda. Well, Sunny, thank you for the truth you made me see. Oh, Sunny, thank you for the facts from A to Z. My life was torn like windblown sand. A rock was formed and we held hands. Sunny, one so true, I love you. Well, Sunny, thank you for the smile upon your face. And Sunny, thank you for the gleam that flows from grace. Oh, and you're my spark of nature's fire. You're my sweet, complete desire. Sunny one so true, I love you. Yeah, yeah, Sunny one so true, I love you. Oh, Sunny one so true, I love you. Ah, thank you. I was driving here this morning, I'm thinking of all these songs. Oh, what a beautiful morning, even though it's freezing cold. Oh, what a it really is a beautiful morning when you drive and you have a purpose and a skip in your step. And I do this morning. It's always an honor to be with all of you. So back to this giving freely conversation. And we were talking about how some people think it is really okay. They feel gratified just writing a check. Okay, and I can't judge whether that's right or wrong, but I do know that the partner in this relationship needed more because it created this contrast. And if you study Abraham, contrast is really huge in the learning of the lessons from dark into light. But she really felt alone. And just writing a check wasn't enough. And many years later now, they have this opportunity to talk about that. A lot of times we're not blessed with the kind of money where you can write a check for college or a certain event that's going on. It can be big, it can be little. Sometimes we don't have that in our lives, and so we look at giving freely of our time. And I'll tell you what comes with that kind of an opportunity for me. Like I said, I'm not judging that it doesn't come when someone writes a check too, because listen, when you know you're in your spiritual facility and you write your check, you feel doggone good about that too because you're supporting this place. But the thing that's really important for me is that when you get involved with yourself into some kind of helping one another, I resonate when it's me personally getting into this with this feeling of, oh, I am doing the right thing. I am on the right path. I feel good. You vibrate in a different way. Do you know what I'm talking about? Give of your time, bring the tray of cookies over to the new neighbor or something. Doesn't it make you feel good to do stuff like that? Or last night, a bunch of the musician friends, some of you might have seen this on my Facebook post, got together in honor of a woman named Sue McLean. Sue McLean was the concert promoter for the Basilica Block parties and concerts in the zoo, amongst many others. There's something about her persona, the way she gave within that realm, something you did not see very often, that caused we musicians and singers to really gravitate towards wanting to work with her. She lost her life to cancer in May. She had adopted a young girl. Lily is about 11 now, I think. So this concert was to memorialize her, of course, after her humongous overflow funeral at the Basilica in the beginning of the summer. So many people wanted to say, I want to do something for her. I want to do something for her. In turn, what we did was not only honor Sue, but we honored Lily. And we came together. And I can't tell you the countless times that musicians and singers have that opportunity to come together, to help one another out, to perform for a function that might be what helps raise money for that benefit or charity. We're really lucky. We get to see that firsthand, and I do anyway, in a lot of different ways. And that makes me really proud of my musical community. Time and time again, it's fantastic. So I think the thing that may become a challenge when you're talking about giving freely is what happens when you give, and you are depleted. You know, there is something that is to be said for giving till you're gov out. I just made up a new word. Like it? Gov out. It's kind of like bliss out, but it's you're gived out, whatever that expression would be. So you have to realize, I think that the fine line and the trick is giving freely. We talk about that. Boy, it made me feel so good to help out that person, that neighbor, that oh gosh, I had a little extra money when I was at that benefit. I could also donate and blah blah blah. But when you're in relationship, which we are now faced with 6 weeks of relationships, of holiday times, and wondering how they might go and what kind of drama could be happening during this time, or maybe no drama, but kind of waiting to see how you're going to react because of how other people are acting. That can happen too. And it might be that you are the person who makes all the meals, makes all the phone calls, gets all the people there, cleans the house before, during, and after, and you're gov out. You're goved out by the time everything is done. And I don't think any of that is wrong, and I think there's a good feeling that comes with it. But here's where it becomes a little bit of a challenge. Holidays are one thing, relationships are another. But when you step into this aspect of giving, and you do it because you have an attachment to the outcome of what you want to have happen back to you, is when you can get into trouble. Because when you think about that, and this is something I have talked about time and time again, you have this impression of what should come back to you with an attachment, and if it doesn't work that way, you can hold now not the joy of giving, but you hold now an essence of resentment or pity was on the lip, self-pity, or disappointment. Disappointment might be my favorite word here. Simply because I love you so, I have gone through this, okay? If I love you this much and I'm doing this and this and this for you, then I should be getting this back. What's the matter? And I had two things that happened for me when I would fall into that. And one of them was I would have that disappointment. It is called codependency, by the way, in case you don't know that. I didn't know it. And someone 20 years ago picked up on my depression that I was feeling. I was feeling just sad about something and handed me a book about it. And I went, oh, there I am. I'm finding myself right in this book of Codependent No More. And I really learned about it is okay to give and to give freely, but put yourself in the loop. All right? Give to yourself too. What does that mean? Don't deplete that yourself. That means don't deplete yourself. Make sure that, yes, with joy in your heart, you give freely from that place of abundance that you've already put inside your body, but realize that when it's starting to, feel like you're a little bit drained, pull back. What are you doing for yourself? How are you giving to yourself? It is okay to give to yourself. You guys know that? It is okay to give to yourself. Say it. It is okay to give to yourself. Now, that can mean a bunch of different things. Saying no to something that you felt obligated to go to. Not enough time to make a certain dish that someone is depending upon. But, you can think up your own scenarios. But you have to take the time to give to yourself. Therefore, that balance of giving freely becomes this whole spectrum rather than just half the spectrum, okay? Instead of just focusing here, it's unrealistic because those voices are going to come. These voices that say, well, what about me? I mean, I used to call it with my husband the What About Me Award. Well, what about me? Well, what about me? So we made jokes about it being the What About Me Award. It's going to happen. So I think the homework is in getting clear what is it that I need during this time too. And it isn't like you have to go, okay, I'm going out and I'm doing this now and I'm doing it for me and aren't I cool? It isn't about that. It's about, I think, a quiet reflection about what helps to make me tick. And yes, going out and helping others or showing up in some way is very gratifying. I believe that the main reason that we're here is to be in service to one another. But don't get caught up on what that means. Being in service to one another is everything that I am talking about. To me, it gives you that glow. We can come from a place of grace. We were laughing recently. Forgive me, Mother. But we were just talking about doing things. Do things and do it with a good heart and offer it up to Jesus. That was really a Catholic thing we heard growing up. Anybody ever heard something like that? Yeah, okay, all right. And we laughed about it, but the truth is sometimes we can begrudgingly give whatever it is the person wants too. And I think we're human. That happens once in a while. But that's when we were needling each other going, yes, offer it up. I used to have to make my mother's bed and do it for Jesus because God knows if you don't want to make it, at least offer it up in your heart for Jesus. What? How many beds did I make for you, buddy? Anyway, I think that whole attachment to the outcome, well, I certainly wasn't thinking of an attachment to the outcome of how many times I was going to make my mother's bed with a good heart and offer it up to Jesus. What did I want her to do? Not ask me to do that, I suppose. That was my attachment, right, Linda? That's right, I know, it's true. So you see, there's a through line here in that giving freely is good. I mean, it's written about, and I brought some quotes with me, which I would love to read a few in just a couple of minutes here, but the one thing, I was working at CBS Radio here in town, and my first producer, Scientologist, and she would book my guests, which were mostly spiritual book authors, alternative medicine people. I learned so much. That was my college, working at CCO. Holy cats, I learned so much. But I thought it was so interesting because she had a job to do, but she could have thought, I don't resonate with this vibe or whatever, and she could have resisted the fact that that's what I wanted to do. And she never did. And consequently, after we were all gone from there and worked at another station together, we would have in-depth conversations. And the one thing that I came away from working with her was that in Scientology, one way to get out of your depression, where you're milling it over, what's wrong in your life, what's wrong in your life, what's wrong in your life, as Marion Rice, the minister with Key to Life, said for years, I just have this hangnail and I can't stop thinking about my hangnail. Did you ever hear her speak? It was awesome, forgetting about how miraculously everything else in life works. But seriously, you have this opportunity to not think about the hangnail. You can have this persona of flipping it around, and if you get that depressed person, Scientology believes, out to help their fellow man, they're not thinking about themselves over and over again. They are filling themselves up with the knowledge other people have needs and wants and need help as well, that I am good enough to go and do this. And they really use that. And I'm paraphrasing, of course I haven't studied it, but she said, it's the first thing we tell people to do is go out and go be in service and help somebody. Now, doesn't that make sense? I mean, because as I think the pendulum can swing for people all through their lives. Oh, I'm going to be in service and I'm going to do this, but I've had some dark days too. I think that's how, obviously it's how we grow. Where there is darkness, there is light, because pretty soon you want to weed away from that and go towards the light, right? So when I think about giving freely, there comes with it almost a prescription for happiness. This might be a good time for me to see if I can find a couple of these quotes that jumped out at me last night. I went quote searching after First Avenue last night. Yes, I did. It is not how much we give, but how much love we put into giving. Mother Teresa. That's nice, huh? It's not how much we give, but how much love we put into the giving. Charles Dickens says, no one is useless in this world who lightens the burden of another. Love that. Winston Churchill says, we make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. Have you heard that one before? I love that. We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. You give but little when you give of your possessions. It is when you give of yourself that you truly give. All right? That was that resonance that I touched on. You know, my girlfriend's mom passed, and I was right there. Couldn't go to the funeral, but helping her with her house. And I loved being able to help my childhood friend do that. Because you're spoken to. Your intuition tells you this is the time to show up, and or maybe your boss needs to be listened to for 45 more minutes than you really had in your time. And you do it and you feel good about it. You know that you'll make up that time somehow else. Let us make one point, that we meet each other with a smile when it is difficult to smile. Smile at each other. Make time for each other in your family, Mother Teresa says. But this Khalil Gibran, you give but little when you give of your possessions, but it is when you give of yourself that you truly give. Anybody ever read Gibran? Am I saying that right? I believe. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff to listen to and live by. Oh, I love this one too. A kind gesture can reach a wound that only compassion can heal. That's really good. There's one I'll refrain from reading in here because it's, Chelsea Handler had one in here too, but it was a little too naughty to read. Happiness doesn't result from what we get, but from what we give. That was Ben Carson. These are tags. The only gift I have to give is the ability to receive. Ooh, this is huge. Oh, wow. The only gift I have to give is the ability to receive. If giving is a gift, and it surely is, then my gift to you is to allow you to give to me. That's a whole nother piece, isn't it? I once had this opportunity to sit with Maya Angelou at the Sofitel in Bloomington. I was singing there for several years. And she happened to walk in after one of her, I think it was Women of Substance talks, and she loves the Sofitel. And there I'm singing jazz. I think I sang You've Changed by Billie Holiday, and she's walking in, sitting with her, very distinctive hats. And I never bother a celebrity when they're eating and trying to be a normal person. Well, the waitstaff was in a different mindset, and they said, oh, she really wants to meet you. And I'm going, well, all right. So I went and introduced myself and said, it's so nice to meet you. It's really an honor to be with you and have you in the audience. And she said, She has a very interesting way of talking, and I can't really do it, but please sit down. And she's very eloquent. So I went, okay. She offered me a glass of wine, and I had just ordered a bowl of soup, and they brought it over, and we sat and talked, and she said, you know, I used to be a jazz singer. Did anybody know that? Yeah, and not many people, I didn't know that. She didn't love to sing, but she loved the word. Consequently, she became this incredible thinker, writer, and we talked and talked, and she began to sing to me at this table, obscure jazz tunes, wondering if I had done them. I mean, this is going to be etched in my mind forever. But then I was so excited to meet her and wanted to share my CD with her and my mom with her, because my mother was this brilliant jazz pianist. And she said, never give a rich person too many things. You can give one, but I will buy the rest. I don't know about you, but Linda, I don't know about you. I just give away my product. Just give it away. She said, no. And I had to receive then. She bought 10 CDs to give to Ashford and Simpson and whomever else. And you never know what's going to happen in those scenarios, but she taught me you have to be able to receive too. Really, seriously, it was such a great moment in time for me. One moment. I loved that. You know, another time where I had that opportunity to receive, and people were giving freely, is after my heart surgery, which you were alluding to at the very beginning of this. We're coming up on 7 years already. And I survived what killed the actor John Ritter, and has to do with your aorta. That is the main artery that comes down from your heart and feeds your whole body, okay? And I had a dissected aortic aneurysm, so it burst. And luckily for me, they found it with a CT scan and saved my life. Otherwise, that was it. Talking to her on the phone, and she's trying to find a flight, with my mom. And I'm so blessed that all I want to do is give back to them because they saved my life. See, the circle of life. There you go. But to receive after that was so amazing. I had people who came over and made food, who did my laundry, who brought... Hockey teams brought so much food it didn't fit in the freezer. What I mean by that is my kid played hockey at the time. And it was just a beautiful thing, and I was ready to receive. Girlfriends came over to do reflexology on me. One of them, even one of the celebrities in town, came over and gave me reflexology and cleaned my house. So really, it is that beautiful thing. People want to give. People want to give of themselves. And that really exists in all of us. I believe it does. And maybe you've had a little aspect of your life where you feel a little bit jaded because things haven't come back to you tenfold. But anybody who's read any of Deepak, and I talk about the 7 spiritual laws a lot, but that book in particular, simple, 7 chapters. I go back to it, and it says something to me differently every time. If you give, do not have an attachment to the outcome. It's the law of detachment. Okay? If your attachment to the outcome is, hey, I want to share in this joy, you're right on the money. That's fine. Like bringing whatever you're going to bring to Thanksgiving. We've all got it all planned out for our families. Some of you may too. And that piece of joy is, a co-creation of what you want that day to be like. That's one aspect of it. But, in relationships, I give you this, I do this for you, what do you do for me? What are you living in? The potential of what could happen if you give freely, or in what you gonna do for me? Remember the Janet Jackson tune? I think you get stuck. I think we can get stuck. We can get stuck in that negativity, and the circle continues. So Abraham, who is something that I study and get a regular daily meditation, I share with my sister when it's something that we've talked about in our in-depth, many conversations we have about life, talks about that if you continue to stay in that negative drumming, beating of the drum, I don't have anything, I need more money, I don't have enough money, have you ever gone to see Abraham? Okay, Esther Hicks. You stay there and you're not getting off of it, and that man doesn't love me and I can't stand it and he's not loving me and I don't know what I'm going to do, but he's never going to love me anyway. All you do is focus your energy on that. And she, as this entity, Abraham, says, start beating the other drum and go, I have so much, I can give this one, he's going to love me, and I know, and you create the transition from the negative into the positive. But you have to do it energetically. You can't think about it and still be beating this drum over here. I never have anything, I don't have anything, there's nothing for me to give. You have to go to this one with recognition of this. And you have to start beating that other drum. Your energetic being, I call her the instant manifester. She goes, that would be cool. I'm going to do this. I'm going to create that. She's bought a condo on the beach in Florida. She's lived in Palm Springs for 8 years. And she said, I'm going to make my next CD in Argentina. Oh, coincidentally, her son was touring there. Oh, coincidentally, she manifested it and did her last CD in Argentina. If you just want something, go to her. I call her seriously the instant manifester. We all have that possibility, okay? And I can give this so much to this person. I can do that. I can do this. I can get filled up. It really is a fabulous place to be. And you have to kind of do an experiment with yourself because you might be stuck right now. You might be stuck. And what I think you need to do is just take those stuck moments and know, we're all old enough in this room to know that life can be hard. Hey, listen, Mom died, I moved the next morning. And all I can say is, I'm glad I'm a grown-up because I knew I was going to get through it, you know. You have to, we who can make that choice or at least choose that light eventually knows that it's going to come to us. It's 5 months later. My head is clear. I'm in my mom's house, loving every minute of doing that work. And I don't really have an attachment to the outcome at all, except that it feels good, and I'll be sad when I don't have projects to do in my mom's house. But giving freely. I guess that when we think about it, writing that check is a beautiful thing. When you write that check, and you're writing that check, and you're supporting that artist, you're supporting that book author, and you're thinking you're going to gain wisdom from whatever that is, joy in the music, or wisdom from the book, or spiritual soul food in a setting like this, in a center like this, you are giving back to yourself, you know. So that giving freely creates that circle of life, and the circle of giving, and the circle of the energy of money, and the energy of energy. So giving freely to me is about a mindset. Accepting when I'm not in a place where I can give freely, perhaps writing that check, but I can give freely of my time. I can drive my friend to the food shelf. I can do things like this. You can show up. Don't have an expectation because it will come to you. These opportunities, once you open up, will come to you. And you will learn that the ways that you give freely are truly from your heart and truly part of your transformation here on this earth, in this soul life that you have. So, giving freely, bring a lot of mashed potatoes, because if there's any leftovers, I'll have them. Skip the ice cream. Love the mashed potatoes. Seriously, do some fun things for yourself. If you're feeling down and out, remember helping someone else will help you out of it. Giving freely of your time feels just as good, gives you grace as it does to write a check. But if you're only writing a check, recognize that you will be prodded to do more and to show up more in your life, especially if you have loved ones around you who are expecting that from you right now. Bravo if you're making people's lives easier because you can write a check. Bravo, great. But also show up for your own self, for your own karmic value. Know what that feels like. And while you do that, know that you are blessed. You are a child of God. I say that every time. And remember that as you go through your life endeavors and you give freely and you give to yourself. Know what it is and recognize what it is you're missing. Could be a long talk with an old friend or a family member. You know what that is. It might be just, a night on the couch where you're not running around town. kissing my grandchildren. I've got 4 now. Wow, is that ever cool? But you know what it is. I mean, you're going to be led to doing it. And when you give freely, decide what that looks like and that feels like to you. When you give freely and you give free thought to what it is you want to manifest in your life, look out. You never know what's going to happen. All the positive things in life can happen. Let's see if there's a couple more that I can leave you with. Corinthians really goes into so much depth. I didn't want to get too biblical on you. It talks a great deal about giving and what can happen to the soul when you give of yourself. And it's very, it's a really cool thing, but it's too God squad. Okay. Did I read this one to you? You can give without loving, but you cannot love without giving. Isn't that cool? Amy Carmichael. You can give without loving, so write that check. Okay, it doesn't mean anything to me. I'll write that check. I'm talking about my girlfriend scenario. But you cannot love without giving. I think that's great. I love that one. And you can look at this perspective. I know what I have given you. I do not know what you have received. So in other words, I can be in the mindset and in the spiritual set of giving to you in whatever way, energetically, with help, with money. But truthfully, we have no jurisdiction on how that person is going to receive what it is that we've given. It's kind of almost runs into that, you lead a horse to water. Can't make them drink. But the truth is, if you give from your heart, you create a resonance and a glow within you that changes who you are and how you show up in the world. And it really continues that communication with your God center and shows you the next right thing to do for yourself, for someone else. Speak the truth. Do not become angered and give when asked, even be it a little. By these 3 conditions, one goes to the presence of the gods. Okay, this is Buddha. Speak the truth. Do not become angered. Give when asked, even if it's a little. By these conditions, one goes to the presence of the gods. So if you don't feel like giving, if you don't feel like making that bed, no. If you don't feel like giving, you can say, but if you do it, you're going to end up feeling good about it anyway. This is what Buddha says. The bank of love is never bankrupt. I love that one too. I know we're getting to the end of our time here, but I think what I'd like Linda to do is to play underneath me. And before we go off into this first week of holidays, family gatherings, and the official kickoff to hectic lives, I'm going to invite you to shut your eyes for just a moment. And to feel the chair underneath you. And to take a nice deep breath. Feeling that chair sinking into it deeper. And another deep breath. More relaxed in that chair. And another deep breath while you feel more relaxed. Checking the tension in any part of your limbs, your neck, your face. And as you hear this music, each tone coinciding with the chakra of the body, opening your heart, grounding you in your chair. Visualize the kind of weeks that you want to have in the upcoming holiday season. Visualize the joy that these weeks bring to you, and stay there for a moment. If you have a person in your life that might alter you off of your joyful journey over the next several weeks, see that person and surround them with white light. And love them and bless them and release them, knowing that they are on their journey. And if you are there to help, you'll know. And if you are there to just bless them on their journey, you will know that too. For those of you who are facing your first holiday without someone in your life, bring them into your picture in your mind's eye. Smile at them and see that smile coming back to you. Thank them from your heart for all of the joys, all of the holidays, and all of the lessons. Love them, carry them, and release them into their happiness as well. And going into that space in your heart, feel that love that you can tap into at any time, at any time, at any time. This is your God center. This is you. If you're feeling challenged, quiet time will bring you back here. And that love will resonate from the top of your head, where all of your divine ideas come from, through each of your chakras, touch your heart, down to your first chakra and connect with Mother Earth. And you will walk through as a joyful warrior over these next several weeks, enjoying these holidays, enjoying your loved ones, and enjoying yourself. Putting love in your heart is a nice thing to say, but to actually do it and have yourself included in that circle of giving is the best way to live. So with that in mind, with all those that you thought of during this time of Thanksgiving, release them and know they are on their journey as well. If you encounter them in the next few weeks, love them. Remember, you put white light around them, and see that first when you look at them. And then think of the white light and the warm red heart that you feel right now. And carry that with you. You are a child of God. You are a child of God. You are a child of God. I invite you to slowly re-enter your bodies. Stay in that very relaxed place, feeling that love even though your eyes are opening now. Knowing that that love that you feel will generate out 8 feet in front of you, what Heart Math Solution says. And you can expect that those people in your 8-foot realm will show up with that love too. Expect it. I invite you to come back into your body and feel that chair underneath you. And if you haven't done so already, you may open your eyes and take another deep breath. And blessed be, you are a child of God. Beautiful. How do you feel? Ready to go into the holidays? Ready to give freely to yourselves than them? No. It's an interesting concept. Just remember to give to yourself in this giving freely time. Make lots of scrumptious food. Enjoy yourself. Go be with family and friends. Hang by yourself. Whatever it is. Just keep the resonance of being a child of God and knowing that that love and blessings are around your heart and that the wisdom comes through your seventh chakra and brings you those divine ideas. Circulates in your third eye, in your throat chakra, in your heart. And know that that helps you to be grounded through what is going to be going on. And in life in general, you'll know, your intuition will tell you if you are to be giving of yourself in a certain scenario. And if you do choose to do that anyway, and you begin to feel depleted, know what your tools are to fill yourself back up to. So, excuse me. With that in mind, I'm looking at the time. Can we do another song? Should we do offertory? What are you thinking? Somehow I had a feeling that was going to happen. I give to you as you give to me. True love. Do you know this song? You can go on and on. It will always be true. For you and I have a guardian angel on high with nothing to do but to give to me as I give to you. Love forever, true. It just popped in my head this morning. I just think it's such a sweet song. All right. Thank you so much. And now it's time for offering, and I wonder, Tina, if you wouldn't mind just inviting people to do that, and I'll come back and do the prayer.
Well, there's not much more to say with a theme that's giving freely, right? So ushers, if you will just come down with the offering baskets, and we will dig deep. Even
Give
though we got our grant, we are
freely,
dependent on you. Thank you.
love deeply, straight from the heart. That's truly the best place to start. There is power to those who believe. Just give, and you shall receive. Yes, give freely, love deeply, straight from the heart. That is truly the best place to start. 'Cause there is power to those who believe. Just give, you shall receive.
I want to tell you that she wrote that song this morning. And she promises to finish it. It's time for us to create a circle around the sanctuary. And for those of you who haven't done this before, you really do. We got an easy song to sing, so it's no brain surgery. Just file around all the way to the front. And those of you who have been here, lead the way. I've got some girlfriends here who have not been here, so they'll fall in. I seem to pick this one a lot here because I love it. I think it's so perfect for everybody. So, can we stretch across? I want to say thanks to Lake Harriet Spiritual Community for having me back, and I love this place. It's very, very sweet. Thank you for letting me be one of your resident speakers. I always walk away just learning so much more about myself too, so thank you. All right, here we go. Think of your fellow man, lend him a helping sing, put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late, oh please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart. And the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Oh, another day goes by and still the children cry. Put a little love in your heart. If you want the world to know, we won't let hatred grow. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. I'm going to make them sit. Take a good look around. If you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide, kindness will be your guide. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait. All right, this is easy now, this part. Oh, put a little love in your heart. You can sing this. Put a little love in your heart. Yeah, put a little love in your heart. Come on out. Put a little love in your heart. Happy holidays, you guys. Happy Thanksgiving. Woo-hoo-hoo. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great week. It's time for us to create a circle around the sanctuary. And for those of you who haven't done this before, you really do. We got an easy song to sing, so it's no brain surgery. Just file around all the way to the front. And those of you who have been here, lead the way. I've got some girlfriends here who have not been here, so they'll fall in. I seem to pick this one a lot here because I love it. I think it's so perfect for everybody. So, can we stretch across? I want to say thanks to Lake Harriet Spiritual Community for having me back, and I love this place. It's very, very sweet. Thank you for letting me be one of your resident speakers. I always walk away just learning so much more about myself, too, so thank you. All right, here we go. Think of your fellow man, lend him a helping sing, put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late, oh please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Oh, another day goes by and still the children cry. Put a little love in your heart. If you want the world to know we won't let hatred grow, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. I'm gonna make them sit. Take a good look around. If you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide, kindness will be your guide. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait. All right, this is easy now, this part. Oh, put a little love in your heart. You can sing this. Put a little love in your heart. Yeah, put a little love in your heart. Come on out. Put a little love in your heart. Happy holidays, you guys. Happy Thanksgiving. Woo-hoo-hoo. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great week.